Yuka Royer is here in studio. Good to have you with us this evening,
Hi, Sharon.
Yuka. So you are starting with Nippon Steel and US Steel. They filed lawsuits in Washington to challenge the Biden administration's decision to block their merger deal.
Well, Sharon, the $14.9 billion deal was slated to give US Steel a much-needed cash injection and Nippon Steel a boost in production capacity to counter China's dominance in the industry. But on Friday, the outgoing US president made good on his threat to block the deal, citing national security concerns. On Monday, the two companies filed multiple lawsuits against the US government, the United Steelworkers Union, and rival bidder Cleveland-Cliffs. In a statement, they said the decision to block the deal was purely political and not based on national security. The steelmakers accused President Biden of ignoring the rule of law to curry favor with the USW leadership in his bid for re-election and of violating the US Constitution. They also accused the president of the USW Union, as well as the CEO of Cleveland-Cliffs, the American company that was outbid by Nippon Steel in 2023, of colluding to block the deal in an illegal campaign to monopolise the domestic steel markets. The Japanese government has also voiced concern. Let's take a listen.
The deal is considered to be mutually beneficial for the United States and for Japan. The Biden administration's decision, citing national security concerns, is extremely regrettable and incomprehensible.
Unfortunately, Japanese industry has voiced concerns about the future investment between the US and Japan. We have to take this very seriously.
Well, Yuka, with just 2 weeks to go until he leaves office, Joe Biden has moved to ban new offshore drilling off much of the American coast.
Yeah, the latest in the last-minute action by the outgoing president. The measure permanently bans future exploitation of oil and gas in more than 250 million hectares of federal waters off the coasts of California, Florida, and other states. But it would not affect large areas of the Gulf of Mexico where most U.S. offshore drilling takes place. Donald Trump, who promised to expand domestic fossil fuel production during his election campaign, vowed to revoke the ban immediately after taking office, but he may find it difficult to do so, as it would likely require an act of Congress to repeal.
Well, it's the first big tech event of the year. The Consumer Electronics Show is kicking off in Vegas.
The multi-day event starts Tuesday with the latest tech gears and multiple industries set to be on display. And like last year, artificial intelligence is set to take center stage. Here's a sneak peek by Jenny Shen.
It's the biggest tech show in the world. The CES 2025 is kicking off in Las Vegas on Tuesday. The tech spans across industries like AI, personal tech, and healthcare. And in the domain of transportation, those attending this year will be able to see some driverless cars.
At Zoox, we're building a fleet of robo-taxis, which are self-driving vehicles that can pick you up and drop you off wherever you want to go in the city.
The CES is not only a chance for startups to shine, but also a chance for big companies to showcase their latest innovations. South Korean tech maker LG Electronics says it's bringing what it calls the world's first wireless transparent OLED TV screen to market.
LG's visually lossless wireless technology delivers video and audio quality as if it were connected by a cable, with no latency for the ultimate gaming experience.
Over 4,000 companies will take part on kilometers of exhibit space. And organizers say this year's show will center on the theme of the future of humanity, showcasing solutions to issues like access to food, clean air, clean water and mobility, as well as healthcare technology.
Let's take a look at the markets, Yuka.
Wall Street had a mixed session today, with the Dow Jones closing just below the flatline, while the S&P rose 0.5% and the Nasdaq up 1.25%. Continental European shares rose strongly on Monday after the Washington Post reported that the incoming Trump administration is considering imposing tariffs on all countries, but only on, quote, critical imports.
Now, here in France, the government is still facing the difficult task of getting a budget deal through Parliament.
Well, Sharon, of course, the fight over a 2025 budget bill was what toppled the previous government under Michel Barnier. The new finance minister, Eric Lombard, on Monday set a lower target for spending cuts than his predecessor. He said the aim is to save 50 billion euros, down from 60 billion previously, to try and bring budget deficit to between 5 and 5.5% of GDP. The examination of the text will resume in the French Senate on the 15th of January.
Finally then, Yuka, a bluefin tuna the size of a motorbike has been sold for a whopping 1.2 million euros in Japan.
In Japan, and it didn't even set a new record. It's only the second highest amount the coveted fish has fetched at the New Year fish auction in Tokyo. The tuna, caught off Japan's northern coast, weighed 276 kilograms. It was sold for 207 million yen, or 1.26 million euros. That's over 4,500 euros per kilo. The winning bidder is a company that runs a Michelin-starred sushi restaurant and other eateries. It also provides school meals. While some lucky customers got the first taste of the pricey fish, unfortunately, it won't be served in school lunches.
Yuka, thanks so much for that. Yuka Royer with all this evening's business news.